That's a good looking ram right there.
Wow, that dude's cranking.
Well, if that's the same guy, that's the one we're after.
The back one, right? It's the back one broadside. There's a U behind him. Oh, he's pretty.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Buffalo Bore Ammunition, Strictly Business, Leupold Optics, Slumberjack, CVA, Bergara, Bogpod, Caldwell, Tipton, Nanook, Heat Factory, Chef's Choice, Pete Ryer, Zenick, Western Wall Tents, Bitterroot Brewing, and Montana Department of Agriculture reminds you to educate yourself on the harmful effects of noxious weeds.
Bighorn sheep anywhere you hunt is a hard tag to draw. This is no exception here in Montana. It's a once in a lifetime tag and only a few people are lucky enough to draw it. Bighorn sheep have had a lot of trials and tribulations over the past few years. They've had a lot of depredation by wolves and mountain lions, as well as pneumonia has come in here and really decimated the herds. The populations are still at hunting numbers, and the fishing game is really doing a good job on trying to manage those numbers and keep them at carrying capacity. They'll cover ground. I mean, he'll run until he finds another band to use. He'll check them, and if it's not there, he'll run again. Last year, I was able to tag along on a bighorn sheep hunt, and I just fell in love with sheep hunting. It's not one of those hunts you can go on every year, but whenever I get a chance to tag along, camera guy, guide, anything, I'm there. Sheep hunting is amazing.
These guys are enjoying the sun over here.
My buddy Scott Fillingham with Accurate Outfitters gave me a call this year and said he had a client who had a sheep tag and was wondering if I wanted to tag along. I just jumped at the opportunity.
Yeah, baby. Now we can see. Oh, look at these guys coming over here. He's running them now.
I was able to meet Joe Selby, and this guy seems like the luckiest guy in the world. He's already drawn a bison tag here in Montana and a moose tag, but before all of his hunts, it seems like he hurts himself. This year, he blew out his ACL 6 months before the hunt.
Well, it's kind of been a joke with friends. Last year, I injured myself, tore my bicep off on my arm here, and got home a week later and opened the mailbox, and here was that buffalo tag for the Gardner unit. And so the big joke was this year, this spring, slipped, tore my ACL in my knee, and of course the big joke with all my friends was, well, what are you getting this year? A couple weeks go by and I open the mailbox and there's a sheep tag in there. Needless to say, I'm kind of a dirty word now, and as far as what's he gonna get now, you know, so.
She's playing hard to get.
Yeah, she doesn't want any of that.
He looks broomed too. That looks like a good ram.
Sweet looking ram. You guys might want to look at this.
That's a good looking ram right there.
Wow, that dude's cranking. He's cranking way up.
He's running her wheels off. Look what I got. Run, 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 run. Woohoo, baby.
Holy smokes, this guy's got some character.
That's a good looking ram. I just got a little look at him, but he looks like he's got some serious mass.
Sucker's gonna trip on his carrot here and break it off. It's like, holy mackerel. Dude, you better be careful with that.
Joe brought along a couple of his hunting buddies, Jared and Paul, to come on this hunt just because it was such a special tag. The dynamic between these guys is just hilarious. These guys are just a bunch of jokers, always out there joking, busting each other up. It made for a great hunt.
Joe is a very excited gentleman, and when he's hunting, he gets very amped up, very excited, and he wants to do a great job for the animals and for himself.
Seeing that one last weekend was doing that. He tips his head sideways.
Joe is really detailed orientated, and he's laser focused at all times, but he's definitely prepared, and he can handle anything you throw at him.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? You think we want to go after him?
I still think we gotta check out those other ones. You can't, it's kind of hard to settle, I don't know. What do you think of it?
I would check up here first.
And then we'll,
I'd have a hard time to come decide which one you like, which you're into.
yeah.
And there's still 2 weeks left.
He's got a cool head on him. Beautiful set of horns.
Buffalo bore ammunition is premium grade ammunition. It is the most powerful and accurate ammunition made anywhere. Our loads are purpose designed. When the moment of need arises, you are prepared. We make the world's best self-defense pistol ammunition as well as hunting ammunition. Find us at your local retailer or factory direct at buffalobore.com.
I think the big ram we saw that came in last did his business up here and left.
That's what we were kind of wondering. I like to do my homework. I like to understand the animals. I've read a book on them. I just ain't out there just to blow something away just because. You look at the younger rams and stuff, they're very nice. There was a lot of very nice younger rams, but to me, I think they're in the prime of their life, and I think it's smarter to take an older ram that may only last a year or two. That way there's always those genes are carried on. The one thing that's really tough on them, of course, people know is pneumonia. I think a younger ram maybe would survive better than an older ram.
Dark horn.
I wonder if that was that one we saw last night, bedded right over that log.
I don't know, that's a smoker.
I wanted to get absolutely the most out of this hunt, so that's why I started coming on the weekends on my own. But it was a big thing for me to have my friends here and Scott, because yeah, you can look at sheep, but they're very difficult to judge what a good one from a bad one.
Every time you look at them, it's just different. They turn their head, you look uphill, you're looking downhill. It's really deceiving.
Yeah, sheep are a tough animal to judge. You throw angles in there, you throw distance in there, and then you throw other sheep in there, and it's all of a sudden becomes pretty complicated.
Generally before the season, you can find these sheep in specific spots. However, when the rut gets kicking, these rams are running from one herd to the other herd of sheep, and they become very unpredictable. And if you find a sheep you want early season, there's no guarantee he's going to be there.
laying right over here. Well, the one's pretty nice, and the other one I can't see but the top of his head.
Squaring up. That big ram just ran that little ram off. Oh yeah, I'm getting this. Get it, boys. There's a ram right on skyline up there. Right there on that flat grassy bench. You see a Milwaukee skyline. There's a ram right behind her. You can see sheep right from the road, but that's only a fraction of the animals that are there. You got to get to high points, you got to hike in a ways, you got to cover all your bases before you make the decision on the sheep that you finally want to take. So what's the game plan, guys?
Go up.
I wouldn't shoot that ram.
This one.
He's comparable to a few others we saw today. That lower one so far is the best one that I got a good look at. This other single ram and I wanted to see though.
I mean, the good part is we've had a pretty good look at a lot of sheep today to kind of get.
On the other side of misery, something amazing is waiting. Loophole, American to the core.
Who knows what we'll see on the way back to
Yeah,
the
I think
truck.
we're going to see a bunch more sheep before we hit where we're going. Because all those sheep are up. We're going to see a pile of sheep on the way back.
He's still going to be.
And you know what? If we want him, we can come back up here tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I mean, What do you guys think we saw today? Like 60 sheep?
I
Getting close to 80 to 100 range.
254.
That's the thing, 90% chance of snow tomorrow. If it comes in hard, do they hunker down or do they really care?
When she's in heat, she's in heat.
So they're gonna keep running even if it is a blizzard.
But can we see them?
It's been a good deal. I'm very happy to get this tag and to have Scott and his people help me with this hunt. I recommend using an outfitter. If you don't know the area, you don't know, it's pretty rugged terrain. I guess if I were to do it again, I wouldn't do it any different. So it's snowing right now. We're supposed to get some high wind, and low visibility, so it helps having extra people with extra eyes to find them. And
Not every day you see that many swans together.
it's not.
Definitely not. That's a young ram. Well, maybe not. As young as I was thinking.
But it's not him.
That's definitely not him.
Okay. You don't think it's him, huh? Okay.
No, that's not the ram you want.
He doesn't.
That other one comes up about 2 more inches towards his eye, at least.
Flared out a lot more.
Oh, the curl was further, wasn't it?
Need to make sure it's the right one.
Right. Seems like the longer I look, though, the worse it gets. It's like all at once. It's like...
The weather this time of year can be very manic, and the weather conditions can change at a drop of a hat. It can be snowing one minute and sunny the next. You just never know, and it just makes hunting that much more difficult.
It was the storms were blowing in and out all day. You could see and then you couldn't see, and it's interesting how much they move in a night. We saw him yesterday and he moved a fair distance today before we finally caught up with his group again. And
Seen a lot of sheep. I've seen the most bighorn sheep I've ever seen in my entire life. This is definitely a cool area over here in southwest Montana, far Montana-Idaho border. Sheep hunting's been great. We've been seeing a lot of rams, a lot of different rams. Like I say, this has just been a real privilege to be over here. This isn't something you get to experience every year, and I think that's really why Paul and I wanted to come on this hunt.
Just cool to get to come and do it. Whether you draw the tag or not, it's just cool to come and do it. Come and look at new country, look at new animals, Neither one of us have ever hunted this animal, so it's kind of cool to learn them and see what they're about and try to figure it out. Is it the one we're looking for?
The one that's bedded higher. Yeah. He's a good ram, but I don't think it's the same one. Oh. It's a good one. It's not the same one. The tips don't flare out. It's not a bad ram. I mean, he is starting to broom on the one side. I don't know if the other side's brooming or not, but definitely legal.
With sheep running everywhere, we found a ram we thought was the one. We weren't sure. We wanted to see what else was out there. We ran around, looked at some other sheep, and then realized that sheep was the one we wanted to pursue.
If you think we can find that other one, I know he's bigger than. Let's go see if we can find that one, I guess. This ram we're looking at is a really nice ram, but we decided we wanted to go after the one we saw last night. Hopefully we can find him. I'll look at him tilt his head. That's the same guy. That's the one we're after. He's in a good spot too.
The back one, right? It's the back one, broadside. There's a U behind him. Oh, he's pretty.
If you got excited or got carried away, it would be pretty easy to make a mistake.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Buffalo Bore Ammunition, Strictly Business, Leupold Optics, Slumberjack, CVA, Bergara, Bogpod, Caldwell, Tipton, Nanook, Heat Factory, Chef's Choice, Pete Ryer, Zenick, Western Waltons, Bitterroot Brewing, and Montana Department of Agriculture reminds you to educate yourself on the harmful effects of noxious weeds.